Tell me why someone should feel safe going to space in this thing.
Well, that's actually an excellent question. So with our Dragon spacecraft, we've really tried to do everything possible to make the astronauts safe. I mean, if somebody can think of something better to do, I'd love to hear it. But so I'll tell you about some important differences of Dragon compared to prior spacecraft, or even compared to the Soyuz, which is quite a reliable vehicle. First of all, the Super Draco engines. You can see these thrusters that are side-mounted into the spacecraft. There are 8 of them. They provide a redundant escape system. So if something goes wrong with the rocket, these thrusters fire and pull the astronauts away from the rocket. And in fact, since there are 8 of these engines, there can actually be multiple engine failures, and still the escape system will work.
And there's also a parachute still.
Yes, and then so if you go even beyond that and say, let's say the engines is a total propulsion system failure, we actually have a redundant parachute system on board with dual drogues and 3 main chutes. I mean, it's like ridiculously. I mean, from a design standpoint, I'm not sure what more one could do. You've got like multiple engines, multiple parachutes. I mean, space is a dangerous thing. It's not something that humans didn't evolve to sort of be faring creatures. But in as much as one can make certain design decisions to make a spacecraft safe, we have endeavored to make those decisions. And I'm at a loss to think of anything more that we could do. And if we can think of something more, we'll do it.
How confident do you feel in this competition for this contract that you all are going to prevail?
Well, I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be complacent or presumptuous about the contract. I think we've done everything we can to have this be a good design, and I think we've shown to NASA, who's been an awesome supporter of SpaceX in the past. Frankly, we wouldn't be where we are today without NASA. I think we've shown that we can do a good job, and hopefully that makes a difference for this competition.
There are a number of members of Congress here who are looking to you in this company being an American company.
Yeah.
It's got to be a huge advantage, isn't it? Just to have that sort of congressional support?
Well, actually, the NASA competition really will be independent of anything, of any congressional influence. My experience with that is that they really are very objective. Frankly, if NASA wasn't so objective, then we would not have won any of our earlier contracts, because we would have been out-lobbied by the big aerospace companies who have far more resources than we do. The reason I wanted to bring Dragon to Washington, D.C. was really to show the key congressmen where U.S. tax dollars would be going. At the end of the day, they are the ones controlling the purse strings for a competition in general. So they're not deciding the winners, but they are deciding, is the amount of money allocated to a commercial human spaceflight program, is it going to be well spent? Does it have a chance of success? There's a lot of people who think that human spaceflight should not be allowed in the commercial sector. I mean, it's sort of an odd position, I think, but there's still a lot of people who feel that way. So, Congress needs, they need to think, okay, well, if this money, if this taxpayer money is spent, does it seem like it would have a good outcome? And and seeing it in person is just a lot more convincing than seeing it on paper.
Final question for you. You and I were talking about this earlier. You're taking on some very big players here in Washington. Can you win this fight?
I don't know. I don't know if we'll win. In the long term, I have faith in the American system of government, and I think in the long term, I think we've got a good shot. The short to medium term it's much harder to say where things will go in the short to medium term. And of course, in order to get to the long term, we've got to get through the short to medium term. I just find it odd that we have to fight so hard just for there to be competition for national security launches. It just doesn't seem right.